Let's talk about Psalm 128 on this journey of ascent. Happy is everyone who fears the Lord, who walks in the Lord's ways. Ye shall eat the fruit of the labor of your hands. You shall be happy, and it shall go well with you. Your wife shall be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Thus shall the man be blessed who fears the Lord. The Lord bless you from Zion. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. May you see your children's children. Peace be upon Israel. Now, let's just call this out that it's a pretty exclusivistic psalm in terms of the assumptions made of, a man and marriage and children and so forth. So just acknowledge that. But let's look at what's deeper there. What I hear in this is a reminder of how I live, how that impacts others. That how I live doesn't just impact me, but it impacts for good and for ill those in my immediate circle, my family, my close friends, my church that I serve, my communities. But even far beyond that, people talked about the butterfly effect, that butterfly flaps its wings in Asia, that it causes a hurricane in the Gulf, like that kind of idea. But there is a reality to that as we hear in the psalm there, that in living in these right ways, it will bless those around you, or may also curse them. How we live impacts one another. And that's been that's a huge part of the discussion and debates that are going on right now around the pandemic and masks and everything else. I don't like wearing a mask. I don't. But I do wear one because it recognizes that what I do, what I carry, could impact somebody else. There's a quote from Martin Luther King in what's now entitled his letter from a Birmingham jail, which is it's a masterpiece that he wrote literally while in jail in Birmingham. He wrote it primarily to white churches about their need to respond in support of that moment. And he writes this. First of all, if you've never read it, read the whole thing. Okay, But he writes this. In a very real sense, all life is interrelated. All men, all people, are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. Hear that? An inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. So as we continue this journey up these songs of ascent, remember, we do not journey alone. And how I journey up this ascent affects you. How you do it affects me. How we do it affects all. How others do it affects us. Grace and peace be with you.